thought love was supposed to make you feel safe, cherished, like you were enough. But in every relationship I found myself in, love came at a price. A price I didn't understand until it was far too late. I had been starved for affection, for validation, for the sense of belonging that I never fully felt growing up. So, when someone came into my life who seemed to offer all of that, I clung to them like I'd never let go. I convinced myself that love meant making sacrifices, putting their needs above mine, ignoring my own happiness to make sure they were happy. It seemed harmless at the time, even noble, but I didn't realize how much I was losing myself until I had nothing left to give. I'd been cheated on repeatedly, and yet I forgave every time. I accepted it, telling myself it was a mistake, that he would change, that things would get better. I convinced myself that I could manage it, that I was strong enough to forgive and move on. But deep down I was just afraid of being alone, afraid of losing the little bit of love I thought I had. It wasn't just the cheating, it was the drunken arguments he'd start, the embarrassment I'd feel when he shot at me in front of friends, the way his eyes would cloud over with anger, accusing me of things I didn't do. And even when the argument was over, the weight of it would hang in the air like a dark cloud, lingering long after the words were spoken. He dragged his beer-filled cooler wherever he went, making sure everyone knew where he was, demanding attention from everyone. Always the loudest person in the room. His jealousy was suffocating. It didn't matter who was around. If I spoke to someone, he'd start a fight. He would twist things around and make it seem like I was the one in the wrong, even though I'd done nothing. The worst part was how it wore me down. I stopped trusting my own instincts. I started doubting myself, believing the arguments that he'd start. Slowly, I lost my sense of self-worth, convinced that I didn't deserve any better. And then, there were the times when I didn't want to sleep with him and he'd pick a fight, trying to guilt me into giving him what he wanted. The power he had over me, the control he exerted in every interaction, became something I couldn't shake off. I didn't know how to stand up for myself anymore. I didn't know how to walk away. There were moments of clarity where I knew something wasn't right, but I couldn't break free. I was trapped in this cycle of hurt, constantly forgiving and then feeling like I'd been betrayed again. But what scared me the most was the way I accepted it. It became normal. And then he'd apologize every morning. "I'm sorry, I was wrong. It won't happen again," he'd say. And for a moment I'd believe him. But the cycle would always repeat. I couldn't see that I wasn't just in love with him. I was in love with the idea of love, the idea of being wanted, of being cared for. I mistook toxic behavior for affection and allowed myself to be convinced that this was what I deserved. But it wasn't love. It was control, manipulation, and a broken version of what I had convinced myself was worth fighting for. And now, when I look back, I realize just how much I had to lose, how much of myself I gave up, and I wish I could tell the younger version of me to stop, to not accept the scraps that were thrown my way, to not let my worth be defined by someone who didn't value me. I lived my life pretty much giving all of me to someone else, giving the other person the love I wished was given to me. And I realize that now. And now, moving forward with my son, I can't allow myself to live like that anymore. Yes, we're human. Yes, we make mistakes. Yes, I am not perfect. Yes, maybe I didn't communicate what I should have, what I felt, what I was feeling, that I was in love with wherever I was at that moment. Yes, I didn't give what I wanted because I was afraid of repeating a cycle, the toxic relationship that I had just gotten out of. But that will never make being betrayed right. in any sense. So, as I'm learning, period, as I'm learning moving forward, I will not let my son watch me be lied to, be betrayed. I will not keep forgiving someone who constantly hurts me. He will not grow up thinking this is okay. I've got eyes watching me now. I can't repeat my life the way it was before. So when boundaries are set, and I've set them, if they are broken, this time around, I promise, and I swear to my son, I will leave. As hard as it is, I will leave. I'll make it. Gotta be strong for him now. If I can give the wrong person, the wrong people, all of me because I love them, God knows what I can give this little bit.